Hey guys, what is up? Naruto Battles here. Again, sorry for the long wait on the videos. I've been swamped with school stuff because school has just gotten back. But I have some free time now, so I thought I'd make some videos for you guys. And since you guys really, I don't, you kind of like the which swordsman survived, might dies, 8 gates attack. But most of the comments were hate comments. I was about 20 dislikes of the thousand views. But yeah, I mean, it's my fault because I made a pretty big mistake, and I'd like to clarify that I do know Yagra killed Juzo, not Itachi. That was my bad, guys. But anyways, we're back to it today. We'll be talking about Pain versus Tsunade. This was a battle that came very close to happening. If Naruto wouldn't have came back to the village in time during the Pain's assault arc, Tsunade would have had to have fought Pain. And I'm honestly not sure how that would go and how the story would change based off of it. So, first off, I think the big factor in this battle is if Tsunade has her mark of 100 healings, in which, in the specific case that would have happened, she wouldn't have. Because while she was down in the arena looking thing, she had no mark of 100 healings on her forehead. So that was down when she spread out 5 million Katsuyus all over the place. So I think that's the biggest factor. And if she had to activate it, she may be able to just rush Pain and just take out the Deva path. Because the Deva path is, I'd say, the one path that Tsunade cannot deal with. And I think this is the problem because Tsunade is mostly taijutsu, and she has very little offensive jutsu. Well, I don't want to get into too much headcanon here, but I would bet that she has at least the basic knowledge of ninjutsu, because she's a medical ninja, so her chakra control is very, very good. So I bet she would have the basic knowledge of at least minor ninjutsu. So she would be able to use like just basic ninjutsu, like clone jutsu. And even though that sounds very like remedial, that could be a key player because the Pains you cannot fight 1v6. And unless you use some kind of trickery, you're going to have trouble doing that, or unless Devapath is down. And in this specific case, Devapath is down because he used the Shinra Tensei to just wipe out the village. And since this happened, he didn't have it for a good while. And if Tsunade had her mark of 100 healings, she would have been able to just rush them. And I think in that specific case, I feel like Tsunade would be able to win. But I feel like in no other circumstance, Tsunade could win in that fight. And that's basically because she has no, as I said, no offensive jutsu, and she has no way to counter Shinra Tensei. And Naruto honestly didn't either. It was a stroke of luck that Shinra Tensei didn't come up until he had taken out all the other Pains. Which, if Shinra Tensei was up that whole fight, I think the Infinite Tsukuyomi would have went off. Because there is no way that Naruto can beat Devapath without going Nine Tails mode and without going without being a 1v1. So also on that point of speed of Nine Tails mode, my second problem with Tsunade most likely losing either way is speed. And we saw this in the beginning of right when Naruto came into the fight, is the Ashura path, I believe, jumped in front of Tsunade and was like, she was about to be down. Like, I had the knife out, it was like coming straight for her. And Naruto just came up and just punched it down, just like destroyed like the Ashura path. But Tsunade obviously did not have the speed to counter that. And even though she's like taijutsu god, like freaking Naruto Sage Mode strength, she does not have Sage Mode speed. And even though she's relatively fast, she's not that fast. And we did see, and despite her like use of her lack of ninjutsu, we did see a little bit of her genjutsu. While this wasn't a filler, this wasn't in like a canon episode. This was a filler, but she did use genjutsu onto the criminals. If you this is anime only filler, but she used genjutsu on Raijin and Fujin, and that was like a big moment because we could see her genjutsu, which is really cool. But I don't feel like her genjutsu is strong enough uh, to beat Pain with like on Jiraiya level. On Jiraiya level, Jiraiya didn't even have genjutsu, which was weird. Um, but it was Ma and Pa, and again, if Ma and Pa weren't in that fight with Jiraiya, I don't think we would have had any single clue that that even Pain was gonna come, and it was yeah, that was a saver for him because Sage Mode is a huge boost. Like base Naruto could not beat Pain. There is no way base Naruto could beat Pain, and that's common knowledge. Like everyone knows base Naruto can't beat Pain, and unless there is no way um, base Tsunade even has the speed to do it. And Jiraiya was relatively fast. Like we saw when it was just Jiraiya versus the three pains. I think it was the animal path, the Preda path, and the human path. I think. Don't quote me on that. But he was fighting them, and we saw. I think it was the human path charged him, and he like kicked it away, and it was high speed charge. So this is obviously like Sage mode, and this is like the power Sage mode, I guess, and it's the speed and the strength, which is crazy, but it's a huge boost. And I just don't think Tsunade has the speed to do that. And she may have the strength, but she does not have the speed or the jutsu. Because if there was no Rasen Shuriken and there was no summonings, which Tsunade had no summonings anymore. Because Katsuyu was all over the place. She was gone. So there was no more summonings except the little Katsuyu, which she could have used, but it would not have helped much. As Gamabunta did while eating the animal path and like Rasengan Barrage in the animal path and blocking off the visual the visual link, which was a crucial part as well, is that Tsunade, even if she's a taijutsu legend, like greatest taijutsu skills, which she's obviously not, she's can honestly be beat by a lot of people. And Tsunade is very close to being the weakest Hokage. I could see a good argument that in this arc, Kakashi would be stronger than Tsunade in this specific arc. So like with Kamui, he would be stronger than Tsunade fighting the Pains. And he fought the Ashura and the Deva, which are the two strongest Pains. And Tsunade would not, I don't think, be able to hold up even close to as long as he did. Because the Preda path, or the Deva path, would affect Tsunade much more than the Deva path affected Kakashi, because Kakashi has, as we know, thousands of jutsu. So Kakashi knows a lot of jutsu, offensive jutsu, and he has a Sharingan, which is crazy. And we saw, I'm not sure, I don't think this is ever like clearly explained in this, but we saw that Pain had a sort of genjutsu when he stuck him with the pole or the chakra receiver rods, and it like puts you in the Renegon whatever space. I don't know. And we know Tsunade's up close, and if the main attack that the Pain had would for taijutsu besides the Deva path would be those chakra receivers, and she could, even if she has Mark of 100 ceilings, even if she has whatever, it's not going to stop that genjutsu. And that disoriented Sage Mode Naruto when he was on the ground, when he was getting pinned down with the chakra receivers. So that would affect Tsunade much harder than it would anyone else, or it would Naruto, which was crazy. So I don't think there's any circumstance that Tsunade would ever be able to beat Pain. And I don't think even just a couple paths, I don't think she could beat. So I don't think she could beat. She may be able to beat Ashura Path if she's fast enough. And we don't know the complete extent of the Ashura Path speed, but it's known to be, as we saw, it was pretty fast. It was faster than Tsunade's reaction. But she was also very weakened at the time. Also, is she? This is my favorite part of the battle is when Naruto comes down and I think it was Gamakichi took Tsunade up, and she just lays down and just like turns old. And Sakura's like, "Thanks, Tsunade, you've done so much." And she did jack in that whole fight, except like heal people, which was redundant anyway because they were all coming back to life. So it was so stupid that yeah, it was just a pointless. She was a pointless effort in that fight that whole time. So and she like did very little to avoid what happened. And if Naruto wasn't there, the village would be done. So honestly, Tsunade did very little and could do very little against Pain, which is honestly a problem because if that would have happened, if Naruto wouldn't have came back on time, that could have been a real problem. And maybe Tsunade could have taken out maybe the animal path, or because she has pretty good strength, she has Sage mode. That wouldn't. I don't think that'd be like a wank, like to give her Sage mode strength, because that's like a general. Because like Sakura punched one of the millipedes or the centipedes or whatever, um, and like cracked it. So that was an animal path summon. So if the and Tsunade obviously is much stronger than Sakura. So I bet she'd be able to like chuck a rhino like across the field, or just do some of the crazy stuff that Naruto did. So maybe the animal path, maybe human path, maybe pray to or not maybe human path. So for sure, maybe pray to path. I don't know the soul steal on the pray to path could be rough for Tsunade, so that'd be a problem. But I don't feel like there's any chance that she could beat Ashura or the Deva path. I just don't think it's possible for her to do that, which is unfortunate because that came really close to happening. So yeah, and if that would happen, I think the story would not be the same. The story would have Tsunade be done, or no, she would actually came back. So once Naruto beat her, or beat Pain. So, but yeah, I don't think it would affect the story that much if Naruto didn't come back in time to like save Tsunade. But yeah, but that was a big deal. So yeah, and that was a pretty good fight. So, anyways, conclusion on this, TLDR, um, Tsunade, there's no way she can beat, no way she can beat Pain. There's just no way. And if you guys have any other opinions on this, which I know this is not really a hot topic, but I know some people argue that Tsunade's stronger than she lets on or whatever, but she's not the strongest Hokage, or like not a strong Hokage, and she got passed up to be the Hokage twice. And Jiraiya, who is leaps and bounds, I would say, stronger than Tsunade in combat, in healing, like there's in pure like power, I think Tsunade may be stronger, but in like strength and intelligence, I feel like Jiraiya is much stronger. And Jiraiya came close to beating the Pains. He pushed Pain pretty far, and I know Tsunade is not as strong as Jiraiya, so I don't feel like that fight would be very good. And I know a lot of people think Tsunade is a lot stronger than she is, or whatever, think she's stronger than Jiraiya, or stronger than Kakashi, or stronger than Hiruzen, which is completely jacked because Hiruzen is, in my opinion, one of my favorite characters. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. See you.